This is CBN NewsWatch.
And thank you so much for joining us. I'm Ephraim Graham. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is back in North Korea. President Trump disclosed the trip after his announcement of pulling out of the Iran nuclear deal. The president believes the hard line on Iran could help him in negotiations with North Korea in his greatly anticipated summit. Our Mark Martin is on this story.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo returned to North Korea Wednesday to finalize plans for the historic summit between President Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. The meeting is expected to happen later this month or in early June.
In preparation for my upcoming meeting with Kim Jong-un, plans are being made. Relationships are building.
China's official news agency quoted Kim as saying this week, "I hope to build mutual trust with the U.S. through dialogue." He also said that resolving tensions on the Korean Peninsula and denuclearization should move forward in stages, with all sides moving together. It's the second time Pompeo has traveled to North Korea. He met in secret with Kim over Easter weekend. Trump says the time and location of the summit are set. U.S. leaders say in addition to preparing for that meeting, Pompeo will press North Korea to, quote, do the right thing and release 3 American hostages. The Associated Press reports that Pompeo said, "I think it would be a great gesture if they would agree to do so." He also said it would be tough to have a summit if the prisoners were not freed.
We will soon be finding out. It would be a great thing if they are. We'll soon be finding out.
One of the hostages, Kim Dong-chol, is seen here as police lead him away. North Korean authorities arrested him for spying in 2015. They arrested the other 2 American hostages, who were both teachers in Pyongyang, last year when they tried to leave North Korea at different times.
There's good days, there's bad days, but we try to focus on maybe the day he's going to be released.
The North accuses all 3 of anti-state activities. The White House has still given no official word on the status of the 3 hostages, but a South Korean official says the North is expected to release them Wednesday as a goodwill gesture. Mark Martin, CBN News.
Here now is a look at some of the other headlines we're following for you inside the CBN newsroom. President Trump announced the U.S. is withdrawing from the Iran nuclear deal Tuesday. Now Iran's leader is challenging the president's decision, saying Iran will start enriching uranium more than before. He's also accusing President Trump of threatening Iran's people and government. Hawaii's erupting volcano continues to devastate people and property. So far, nearly 1,700 people have been evacuated from Kilauea, and they face the possibility of not being able to return. Scientists say more lava is likely on the island as volcano vents continue to erupt. State Attorney General Patrick Morrisey won the GOP Senate primary in West Virginia Tuesday. He beat former coal executive Don Blankenship in the hotly contested race. President Trump warned West Virginians not to vote for Blankenship, fearing it would destroy the party's chances of defeating Democratic Senator Joe Manchin come November. You can find more on these stories and others throughout the day at cbnnews.com. Monday, the U.S. officially moves its Israel embassy to Jerusalem. As Chris Mitchell reports, preparations are well underway for what many consider to be history in the making.
The White House has released the official delegation for the opening of the U.S. embassy here. While President Trump will not be attending, son-in-law Jared Kushner, daughter Ivanka, and others will represent the United States for the official opening on May 14th to coincide with Israel's 70th anniversary. Here in Jerusalem, city and State Department officials are getting ready for the move of the embassy just days away. The Israeli and American banners you see behind me as you approach the consulate are just some of the big changes taking place. Workers are taking down consulate signs and installing new ones pointing to the soon-to-be U.S. embassy. Even Jerusalem Mayor Nir Barkat came to have his picture taken with the new signs. Workers are planting new trees and landscaping the road leading up to the embassy. On the other side, heavy equipment is constructing a new access road to the embassy. The consulate is located in the neighborhood of Arnona, where, according to National Police spokesman Mickey Rosenfeld, security will become a much greater priority.
In terms of security and the level of security, it will be of its highest in the same way as it was also in the area of Tel Aviv on the beachfront there. Security in Jerusalem is more sensitive, taking into consideration also the nearby neighborhoods that can be problematic in certain periods throughout the year. but we're coordinating closely together with American security, border police units that are on the ground as well that are protecting this specific area, this neighborhood and this site. And we won't take any chances whatsoever in the next coming period.
For security reasons, we can't show all the changes going on around the consulate, but the new seal of the embassy is being prepared for next week's ceremony. Whatever changes, Rosenfeld says the embassy move is significant on a number of levels.
Tremendously important, tremendously significant, both on a government, political level as well as a security level. It's a move that should have taken place many years ago. The Israeli police will protect the area, will protect the neighborhoods. Jerusalem is calm and quiet, and we're continuing to make sure that it stays that way.
Chris Mitchell, CBN News, at the soon-to-be U.S. Embassy here in Jerusalem.
Doctors are calling it nothing short of a miracle. An Alabama family is calling it God's love and grace. Our Eric Rosales recently spoke to the family of the 13-year-old Trenton McKinley, who was declared brain dead after he suffered a devastating head injury.
Talk to us about the accident. What exactly happened? He was in the back of a trailer?
I dropped him off to stay at his friend's house, and from the stories and the investigation that police officers did, it was him and a friend hooked the trailer up to a dune buggy. Trenton rode because he thought the little girl was too small to ride in the back of the trailer by herself. He was afraid she was going to get hurt. Thanks to him, she didn't get hurt, but unfortunately, he was hurt.
Now, I understand that he was rushed to the hospital, and the doctors gave him a pretty grim prognosis, and you even signed paperwork to donate his organs after doctors said that he wouldn't make it.
His vitals were actually 40/20, and his body temp got down to 80.
Wow. And he was going to save 5 children?
My thoughts were, if my son was not going to make it, at least I could save 5 parents and families from going through what we were about to go through.
Trenton, you told your family that you visited heaven. Tell me about it.
I don't remember faces. I saw a shadow, and I was walking through a field with the shadow.
And I understand that the shadow had a beard?
Yes, sir.
And you also had, in your other arm, you had a baby?
Yes, sir.
And your mom was...
I don't know. Mom thinks that it could have been my little brother that miscarried.
Wow. What do you want to tell others out there about Jesus and about heaven?
It's real. God, Jesus is watching you at all times. He's with you. Believe. Never lose faith.
Thank you so much, Trenton, for joining us. Again, Trenton continues to recover in his Alabama home. He still suffers from some nerve damage and has seizures, but he is undergoing another surgery to repair his skull. But he is alive. Thanks be to God.
And thank you, Eric. Jesus is indeed real, and he is watching you. A fundraiser page has been set up for Trenton's family, and you can learn more by visiting cbnnews.com. Coming up, an insider's look at Capitol Hill from a congressman who served there 24 years. Cliff Starnes, the former congressman from Florida, takes us inside the Marble Palace in just a minute. After months of anticipation, a bipartisan shot at prison reform is making its way to the House Judiciary Committee today. The First Step Act is co-sponsored by Republican Doug Collins and Democrat Hakeem Jeffries, and it has the backing of Christian groups, liberals, conservatives, and the president. Collins, a pastor for more than a decade, tells CBN News the idea of prison reform has moral and fiscal ramifications.
Are we putting money into prisons and programs simply to keep people there and then send them back out and say, hope you don't come back? Or are we actually taking the fact that if we actually invest in them from the moral side, that they are human beings that maybe have made a mistake, and if they want to correct, we give them an opportunity. Everybody that we meet has intrinsic value in God's eyes.
Christian organizations like Prison Fellowship tell CBN News this bill is a chance for Congress to pursue justice and righteousness. Critics say it doesn't go far enough to address sentencing reform. 4 years, Cliff Starnes served in Congress. Now he wants to give Americans an inside look at what Capitol Hill has become and how to preserve our democracy. Abigail Robertson sat down with him to talk about his career, his faith, and the problems facing our country.
Irresponsible spending, outrageous campaign budgets, and an almost complete loss of bipartisanship. Former Congressman Cliff Stearns warns those are just a few things threatening our great republic.
In Georgia, the seat to replace Tom Price, it cost $40 million. The salary is $174,000 a year.
In his new book, Life in the Marble Palace, Stearns takes readers behind the scenes on Capitol Hill during notable historic moments and explains why a strong faith is so critical for a lawmaker.
It's very important because lots of times you're not sure where the righteous legislation is or whether what you're doing is according to what you believe. And so you have to search yourself pretty carefully. Because
while Stearns tells me some of his votes were regrettable, he never voted against his faith. Stearns stayed close to God by attending bipartisan Bible studies held weekly inside the Capitol.
And oftentimes it was really refreshing because it brought you back to your faith and made you remind you of the larger picture.
Regularly seeking the Lord helped assure the Florida congressman he wasn't just relying on himself.
Without an understanding that and a belief that you have a responsibility to do good and to fear the Lord, and without that fear, you have a belief in man and rather than a belief in God.
In the book, Stearns hopes to help current and future lawmakers avoid some of his mistakes.
I'd say obviously go back to the district. Most importantly, take care of your family because there's so much stress, many members forget their family and don't spend time with them. And I think like every other member, I wish I'd spend more time with my children when they're growing up than that's years.
While Stearns weathered rough times under multiple presidents, he feels the current atmosphere is much more controversial than he's seen before.
And now you finally have a president, finally. Took you a long time. Took you a long time.
He feels sort of like he's going to do what he wants. And sometimes in Congress you have to build loyalty and you have to work across the aisle.
Stearns does see positive accomplishments from President Trump, like the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, but he doesn't see a stable political atmosphere.
I think in his book he talks about creating chaos to help in his negotiation. But I think when you're talking about the most powerful country in the world, there's got to be a feeling of confidence as well as stability so you know that you can feel comfortable in the activities out of the White House.
That's why Stearns hopes the staff turnover at the White House doesn't become worse. He also wishes the media would cover the president more objectively.
Any news story that I get out of the mainstream media is negative on Trump. And they do not in any way try to show his accomplishments and what he's trying to do.
One perk of being a congressman he misses most, the overseas travel.
A congressman preempts a four-star general. So if you come into a country, you can see the president of the country, you can meet the ambassador. So that opportunity is extremely unique. And no matter who you are on the outside world, you will not have that kind of protocol.
A key point Stearns addresses in the book is the future of our country and changes he feels must be made.
I don't have a super PAC. I don't want a super PAC.
First, he calls for major campaign finance reform due to, quote, the deplorable amount of money spent on elections.
The money is too influential, and it's spent too much time doing that. And lots of times that money influences, either subtly or indirectly, how a member decides on an issue.
From his standpoint, fundraising for the party has become the main qualification for leadership positions and committee chairmanships, not who does the best job.
Congressmen and men and women spend too much, inordinate amount of time fundraising, going over to their prospective party headquarters and just getting on the phone and raising money.
He wants major caps across the board.
If you limit the amount of money and a limited amount of time, then that makes the whole focus on the issues and not on the money.
And you say in your introduction that you see a lot of flaws and problems that could eventually lead to our collapse. What are some of those issues?
Well, obviously the debt. This year we're going to do, or last year we did $1 trillion worth of debt under the Trump administration. So the debt can't go on forever, and we could end up like Greece if we just continue to do that.
Stearns concludes by pointing out he never witnessed any administration offer a real, balanced budget over his 24 years in office. He cautions colleagues that if we continue to grow debt that future generations must pay off, it could destroy our country. Reporting from Capitol Hill, Abigail Robertson, CBN News.
Still ahead, we're sitting down with recording artist Tauren Wells, fresh off his tour with a music legend. Stay with us. Fresh off his tour with music legend Lionel Richie and Mariah Carey, recording artist Tauren Wells is now on a worship tour. Take a listen to his Grammy-nominated Hills and Valleys as we sit down with him in Studio 5.
Love is action that you take, passion that can make any kind of walk under love is action. Walking out of faith, giving everything, nothing's gonna stop us. Love is action.
Most people, in terms of your fan base, will initially know you from Royal Taylor.
Royal Taylor was a treasured time in my life, getting to run the roads with my best friends and play all over the world together. It was really special. But with my family growing and everything, just some things had to shift in priority. So being a solo artist has given me more opportunity, I feel like, to express more facets of what I feel like God has called me to do. So I get to engage in the local church. I get to go out, speak, preach, speak at events, and then also write and record music, tour when I feel like it's appropriate for my schedule and whatever season my family's in. So that flexibility has been really cool.
Beautiful. The album, Hills and Valleys.
On the mountains I will bow my life to the one who set me there. In the valley I will lift my eyes to the one who sees me there.
I brought the demo of Hills and Valleys home and I played it for my wife, who was very supportive. And she would hear all my songs and she would say, "Man, these are great songs, you're so good," you know, just being a good wife. Well, this song came through and she was like, "I feel like this is a song people need."
When I'm standing on the mountain, I didn't get there on my own. When I'm walking through the valley, I know I am not alone. You're God of the hills and valleys, hills and valleys, God of the hills and valleys, and I am not alone.
And that just stuck with me as I would sit in these rooms to write songs. I don't just want to write fun songs, although those are fun and have space. I want to really endeavor to write songs people need. Like, I don't know how I would have made it had I not heard that song at that time.
Over it all, on the mountains I will bow my life. Yeah, in the valley I will lift my eyes.
Where does the inspiration come for you?
Yeah, I feel like songs are more than written, they're excavated. I feel like there are songs really in all of us. You know, some people get paid to write songs, but really everyone's a songwriter. At some point, something should be coming out of us. And I think when I get into the room and I just create time to go a few levels deeper into my heart and what God's been speaking to me and what's happening really in my soul, then it comes out and we just capture them, you know, versus hunting for something or searching for something. I think it's already inside of us, but we live life at such a frenetic pace. We never slow down long enough to like hear what God's doing.
God of the hills and valleys, and I am not alone.
And Torrin Wells is wrapping a tour with Chris Tomlin right now. Stay with us. We'll be right back. It is time now for your Wednesday word, and today's word is actually 3, paid in full. It doesn't have to be Easter for you to remember Jesus paid the price for a debt he didn't owe. It is a bill we owed but could never afford to pay. The bottom line, that is love. What greater love has no man than to lay down his life for a friend? Let us not take that for granted and make this a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. That is going to do it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. Remember, you can find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about at cbnnews.com. And of course, we'd love to hear what you think about the stories you've seen here today. You can do that by emailing newswatch@cbn.com. And you can always reach out and touch us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We would love to hear from you. The news ends here, but it continues 24/7 at cbnnews.com. Hope to see you there and hope to see you back here again next time. Make this a wonderful Wednesday, everybody. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye and God bless.